Sunshine Wild Pack. It's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Pick a Card weekly tarot reading for August 2nd, 2021. Come on, y'all. You knew I wasn't going to leave you without a reading for 2 whole weeks. That wasn't going to happen. This is being recorded Wednesday, the Wednesday before I leave. So what is today's date? It's the 21st. I can't even, we're going to get into today because it has everything to do with what Spirit told me the reading should be for you all on the Monday that is the August 2nd. And I'm like, la, 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 because today has just been nutsola. The synchronicities, which is what the live was about this morning. And everything that's just flowed throughout the day. Eventually I just had to sit back and just watch it all unfold because it just played out like a movie, and you just can't make this stuff up. And it was magical, and it was mystical, and it was powerful. And wow, today I don't journal, but I'm going to journal today so I can remember it always. It was crazy, and it's not even over yet. I still have class to teach tonight. So if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I hope you will like the content that we produce here, and you'll subscribe and hit the little ringy dingy bell thingy so you get all the notifications. For my longtime subscribers, you know I love you more than anything. It would really be awesome if you all would like the video. It helps YouTube go, hey, people like her. Maybe other people will like her. We'll send her video around. And it's not about me. It's all about the animal allies and the teachings and the healings and the messages here, on my channel. And, if you like talking about metaphysics and you like talking about spiritually related things and psychic things and tarot things and shamanism things and, all of that kind of thing, get on over to my forums, Gathering of Mystics, great googly moogly, wildpackwisdom.com/forums. And, get on the craziness that goes on over there. So, this is a weekly reading. And so even though I'll be back in the saddle on the 5th, and I will be doing a live on the 6th, I will be doing a live on August the 6th, Friday. As you all know, I'm really big into symbolism. Like, everything's a symbol to me. Everything means something to me. I'm like, it's a cat hair. What does it mean? Okay. That said, sometimes it just is what it is. You can't deny it. And so I'm flipping through all 149 cards of my deck. And for those of you just joining us, I read from my own award-winning Arc Animal, and best-selling, by the way, Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. And poof, out flies the dove. And I mean, literally, I think I actually scratched my monitor because the dove said, "Fwee wee wee," whap, right up against my monitor with the hard edge. So now I'm into symbolism, and why I bring that up is I know the symbolism of the month of August. People rarely think about the symbolism of months, and yet it's a thing. And I'm like, doves, peace, are you kidding me right now? Because the month of August was actually named for Augustus Caesar. And that is the dude that he went to Rome. I think the quote is something like, "I went to Rome, it was a pile of bricks. When I left, it was marble." He literally is the guy that not single-handedly, obviously he had help, but he is hailed as being the person who brought a 200-year reign of peace. 200 years. So the dove flies out for you all in August, the month of peace, named after the man that brought peace for 200 years. Here's what I know. There's no need to pull a beginning of the week, a middle of the week, and the end of the week card. There's no reason to do a 3-card tarot spread, because here's all you need to know for this week. And the whole thing that he said, that famous quote of his, the Augustus Caesar quote of, "I went to Rome, found it in bricks. When I left, it was marble." That is your job this week is to leave everything and everybody in a better place, position, anything than when you found it. Now, what that does not mean is you have control to change things. I mean, if things are bad, they're bad. And if they're miserable, they're miserable. And, but anything you can do to change that or help it, or you should do that. And if you are thinking about having a kerfuffle with somebody, don't do that. This is the week of peace. Come at everything from peace, and Dove will work with you as your spirit totem and power animal. Now, some really fascinating things about doves is they apparently, of any animal, are the animals that can, and I understand they're birds, but they are the animals that are some of the strongest flyers in the world. And they are the ones who can find their way, like a homing pigeon or a homing dove, that kind of thing. They can travel distances that no other animal can and find their way home. Now, that said, the dove does not, let me just get through this. Pick a card reading for you guys, because I'm just so blown away at how spirit works sometimes. I just feel small and so humble, and just so, not small in a negative way, but I become very aware of how pretty much inconsequential I am in this world. I don't mean it like that, but we're all just one speck of a greater, much, much greater thing, right? Okay. So I believe. I can't prove it to you, but I believe it. Doves don't have gallbladders. They are anatomically very different than other birds in that they have no gallbladder. And what is the gallbladder? It's the organ that secretes bile. Now, they secrete it directly into their gut, but they don't have a gallbladder which secretes bile. Okay. A gallbladder in Eastern medicine is said to house your anger and your jealousy. So I know that throughout the wild pack, somebody out there, and of course it's going to make sense that one of y'all is dealing with anger or jealousy. Totally get that. But this is not like, well, of course, the mathematical odds are somebody in the wild pack is dealing with. This is not that. This is more than probably is comfortable for the universe. You're dealing with anger, but deep seated anger that probably has seated in your gallbladder. And you might have gallbladder problems. You might have had gallbladder problems. Maybe you've got digestive problems because you're maybe like the dove and the bile secretes directly into your stomach. Emotional bile, energetic bile, or bile. In which case you need to go to the hospital because it's your gallbladder is supposed to be doing that. So that said, I'm not giving medical advice. Please don't anybody write me and say you're giving medical advice, because I'm not a medical professional of any kind. That said, anything that you can do working with white, the color white this week, anything you can do working with doves, dove energy, bird energy, flight, air energy, divine energy. This is a fantastic week. If you're really working on or reconsidering or consider whatever you're doing about your faith, your spirituality, your spiritual awakening, what you want to gift to the world, how you want to show up in the world, how do you want to leave the world a better place than you found it? Those are probably all questions you're asking yourself this week, and dove energy will work with you. Now, even when you take a look at the term dove, it's rooted in a Germanic word that refers to the tendency to dive. And that's why I feel fairly certain, I feel real certain, that this week you all are already, even on this Monday, you're already dealing with, working with, diving deep into the emotions, all the feels, all the really why, all I can hear is why. I just feel like so many of you are questioning you're asking the deeper questions of why. Well, it can be different for everyone, but the why will be revealed to you as long as you are willing to see it from a divine perspective. What that means is this. Let's say you have a partner, and that partner, you bust them cheating on you. Well, you can burn down the house. You can burn the house down. You can cause a kerfuffle like nobody's. I mean, you can turn into the Tasmanian devil. It will not serve your purpose in any way, shape, or form at all. So even though this reading, your tarot card for the week, your spirit totem and power animal for the week is a dove, a white dove. I went to the city of Rome and found it in bricks, and when I left it was marble. That might have to do with you and your internal Rome. And what in you is laying in busted up concrete? What in you is laying in broken bricks? What needs to be taken away and beautiful, cool, smooth marble replaces it? Only you'll know that. And only Dove will know that. And so for any of you that have never worked with or gotten into, like people are always like, well, okay, what does that even mean? Work with spirit, totem, and power, animal energy, or get in deeper relationship. What does that mean? It's one thing to think of things. Visual people can think of things in their mind just like it's a movie playing in their mind, just like they're watching TV. But when you feel it, that's a different story. So when you want to work with a spirit totem, or well, let's just say spirit animal, you ask them to come support you in your hour of need. But once they're there, the idea is that they're your companion for as long as you need them. They will show up for you in the oddest places. You will hear phrases that remind, you know what? Somebody might be out there sitting there eating a Dove ice cream bar and be like, don't a dove. It's like that. You could find a white feather somewhere. You could, hold on. Let me take a sip of water because this is what they sound like. My sister loved white doves when we were kids. She had some white doves. The pitch isn't right, but that's the that's what a dove sounds like. If you don't know, like I said, the intonation isn't right. It's the octave is a little too high. Why am I doing this dissection of animal sounds for you? Because I'm obsessed with making animal sounds. My goal is to make the Guinness Book of World Records for the human being that can make the most accurate animal sounds on the planet. I don't even know if there's such a thing, but I'm going to find out. So that said, another way you can work with or get in deeper relationship with Dove as a spirit animal is to really, white dove, let me just say white dove, is to just start wearing a lot of white this week. It can literally be that simple. Maybe there's a dove rescue charity around you or that you know of. Okay, give $5 to them or $10 or $500 or whatever you can afford to save the white dove. Because listen to this. Did you know that as recently as 2013, I think I read that once upon a time. That might be wrong, but pretty much in modern times, it literally was only just recently that doves stopped being used as or carrier pigeons and doves stopped being used as messengers in India. They were still sending notes to people's homes, to their offices via carrier pigeon and dove. Wow, that blows my mind. Now, you all know how I feel about humans taking animals and making them work for them. It's not my thing. That said, over 100,000 doves, white doves, by the way, were I want to say employed, but they didn't get paid. And I guarantee they didn't fill out an application. They just got snatched and trained and made to do this job. I'm a little bitter about that. But in fairness, 100,000 of them, 100,000 doves carried messages during World War II. And the dove is credited with the most unbelievable heroic efforts during that war that saved tens of thousands of lives of the Allies, tens of thousands. And they had, I don't know how they tracked this, but they somehow did a 95% accuracy. And one of the reasons that they use doves is you can't catch them. And even some of the most expert marksmen have they're so fast that even some of the most expert marksmen cannot take down a dove. Thank goodness. Y'all know how I feel about that. So there's something important this week about carrying messages that are life-saving, life-altering, super helpful, super healing, except for you don't have to be a dove. Nobody's going to snatch you out and throw you in a cage and make you do things you don't want to do. No one's going to do that. But you might decide that you're going to, on the wings of love, only the two of us. You might even sing that song and think about doves, even though there was one big wrong note in there. I just feel like there's a message thing going on for the week. It's like you may be the unwitting supplier of divine messages. Like you just may be talking about something just to yakety schmack over a frap and a muffin or something, and somebody you don't even know might be sitting by you, and something you say, is that synchronicity? I believe it is. Something you say lights them up and they're like, now that was a sign from the universe. You may never know what messages you deliver, and or there might be messages that you deliver that are deliberate. Whatever it is, go in peace. We come in peace. I'm not laughing at that, but it really is your job this week to just come at everything from a peaceful place. Even if it's just how you treat yourself, the messages you're giving yourself, how you're talking to yourself. It's really all about that. So I miss y'all. I'm not even gone yet and I miss y'all. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Lord knows I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the little ringy bell thingy and like the video. But when I am in Kansas and I am clicking my heels together 3 times, what's the most important thing? To do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild.